Hi everyone, welcome to the first one of 12 days of collaboration between Monica Crafting with Quilling Lady, Monica Paper Mona, and myself. We will be bringing you easy to post card tutorials for the next 12 days, and we will be working off a different prompt each day. Be sure to hop over to the other ladies' channels as well to check out what they've created. For today's card, we are creating a fun fold card, obviously, keeping the size in mind and also how much bulk we are putting on these cards so they easily fit in an envelope for posting. So I have a 5 by 7 inches of top folding card in here, which folds on the 5-inch side. And I am going to score on the front of the card only. So I'm going to open up my card, which one will be the front flap. I lay down on my scoreboard, butting the score line right against the side of my scoreboard. So I will be able to score down at the measurements that I need to. And for this one, I'm going to score down at 1 inches. And then I'm moving over to the 5-inch mark and I'm scoring down in there as well. Now, I'd like to do this on the other side as well. I just line it up with some of the grooves on my scoreboard and I am scoring from the other side as well. Now, if you've seen my channel, you know that I love book folding cards and that's what I'm going to work with. So first of all, I burnished that 1-inch score line and I'm going to glue down that section in there. Book binding fold cards is something that I really love doing and I've done numerous times on my channel before. And I was working with some ideas and just playing about with measurements, and this is how I came up with this fun fold. So now I'm folding back that 2-inch section at the end, so on the 5-inch of mark where we scored down, I'm folding it backwards. So the shape that you should be having is like this here. So that folds back towards the spine, and then I have a piece of card measuring 4 by 5 inches, and I am going to center this between the first score line and the edge of the card, so not taking the spine into consideration in here. I am going to add the glue to that 2-inch flap that we folded back, and now I'm going to glue down that smaller piece of a card on it, centering it between the 1-inch mark where the score line is, separating the card from the spine, and then the edge of the book. This will all make much more sense when we start adding our layers, because everything's white in here. It's very hard to see. I appreciate that. But this creates this lovely fun fold in here. I haven't seen this being done before. I'm not saying that it's not being done. I just haven't seen it. To decorate my card, I'm going to use the gorgeous paper pack that came with the latest Simply Cards and Papercraft magazine. I will link to this in the description box below. And it's called the Opulent Ornaments. Now, it is definitely not your usual Christmas colors. I absolutely love these. I love unusual Christmas colors anyway. These are just so stunning. The purples with the navy is just really, really stunning. So you can see we have all these sheets that are like little die cuts. You can just pop them out and use them as embellishments. And then you have some stunning papers in here. Really, really nice. You'll see some of these papers even have those gold foiling details on them. I really adore these. Now, I didn't think that paper pads like these with pop out embellishments was my kind of style of crafting, but I really, really enjoy using these. The last one, the sunflower theme that came with one of the latest Simply Cards and Papercraft magazines, was really, really nice to work with. So I was super excited to get into this one as well. I have been learning lately not to be afraid and to start and try some new things that you haven't tried before. And these gorgeous paper pads, once you have some beautiful papers, it makes for really easy card making. So it's a win-win. I love how this one will turn out. So for metal layers, I'm going to start with the inside of the card. The gold piece of mirror card in here measures 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. The white one that I'm going to place on the inside for a message is 4.5 inch squared, and that purple, deep purple strip in there measures 3/4 of an inch by 4.5 inches. I'm using Collage glue on my golden card, and then I have already applied some double-sided tape at the back of each of these pattern paper, well, the pattern paper and the white one in there. So I'm adding the purple strips, so there's a little border of gold showing. When a card is closed, there's a little border of gold showing on all four sides of it. The next bit I'm going to decorate is on the front of the card behind that front flap. So I completely open it up, and the gold piece of card that I am going to place in there measures 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. I'm going to use my Collage glue to stick that down. And then I'm going to bring in another piece of that deep purple stripes, and it's the same size as earlier on, 3/4 inch by 4.5 inches. And I also have applied double-sided tape to the back of that. So on either side of my main front flap, there will be that 1 inch section with the gold card, and then 3/4 inch of a wide of that deep purple. It's like bordering it almost. I really like the look that this is given. I genuinely adore working with these colors. And to decorate my main panel, I've cut a gold piece of cardstock to 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and that really fun pattern paper with all the different bubbles on it measures 3.5 by 4.5. I already layered those on top of each other. I'm just going to glue it onto that front flap now. And again, I'm using my Collage glue to do this. The card base, by the way, I didn't go very heavy base. Normally I would use 350 GSM for my card bases. Today I went with 250 just to make sure that I can add nice layers to it comfortably without exceeding my limit of, I think it's 5 millimeters for the small letter post in the UK. For the spine, I have a piece of 3/4 inch by 4 3/4 inch of a gold cardstock, and that lovely fun pattern again with the gold detail on it measures 1/2 inch by 4.5. I apologize if my voice goes funny every now and again. I've been battling with losing my voice this past week quite a bit. It comes and goes, and when I add a lot of strains, I talk too much like for this voiceover every now and again. It just goes funny on my style. But I'm getting there. So I have chosen a die cut from the paper pad, and this one is this lovely teal color, and it says in gold writing, "Believe in the magic of Christmas," and I absolutely love it. And it has a starry detail, and then it came with that little frame as well. Now I decided to pop the frame on foam, but I have this very thin, it is 1 millimeter foam, so 1 millimeter thick, and they are thin stripes, so I'm adding 2 stripes on there. They are very thin. I love using these just when I need to add small or foam behind the little small details. I like to cut these into little squares as well. So 1 millimeter is still something that I can play with in here without exceeding my limit for the postage. I wouldn't add a much thicker of a foam in here, to be honest. So I'm going to glue the middle of it, that rectangle with the sentiment line, just with my Collage glue, and then I'm going to add the frame around it, popped up a little. And I'm using the double-sided foam pad, but also I'm adding a little bit of a liquid glue to reinforce it, and it will create a lovely permanent bond. Now I picked out that bow and 2 little twigs just to add in the corner, and I'm cutting parts of it down just to make it fit for my card. And I'm going to use just my liquid glue, quick grab, very strong liquid glue. I think this one is the Art Glitter Glue. The other one that I like using is the acrylic glue by Cosmic Shimmer. So these are my 2 go-to liquid glues, but I do like to experiment lately with the new one as well. So yeah, there's quite a few glues out there. Do let me know, what glue do you like to use? I would love to experiment with all different glues and try to see what works and what doesn't. So this finishes my card off, and I absolutely love how this one turned out. I was quite shocked. I didn't have an idea when I started crafting where I was going with this. I was just really adding the layers together, and I am absolutely delighted with how this turned out. Just look at that lovely shine of that sentiment too. So there's so much other scope for this to go. You could try different sizes. I am actually gonna come back and try to create a square version of this. So stay tuned. Do subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so, and make sure you hit the notification bell as well. And do not forget to go over to Monica's and the other Monica's channels as well. They're both linked below in the description box. Check out what did they make, and make sure you check back tomorrow to my channel as well, because I have some other fantastic, I can tell you, absolutely fantastic project coming up now. So you can see some close-ups in here, and I really hope to see you soon for my next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye.